Daredevil Yellow, everybody. Nice to see you today. We're here to talk about a comic book. It's a really good one. It came out very recently. Usually we talk about kind of older stuff, typically.
Yeah, this is very fresh, though. 2025.
Yeah, the newest thing that we've talked about by a long shot.
I think so.
But I read it, I think, more or less when it was coming out. I feel like I need to move these lights closer. It's freaking me out.
No, you look fine. You look great.
I don't know. Look at how dark it is.
It doesn't look that dark.
It looks kind of dark. Batman and Robin Year One, written by Mark Waid and Chris Samney, drawn by Chris Samney, colored by Matt Lopes, and lettered by...
You got to redo all of that. I'm begging
Why?
you. That was bad. That was really bad.
No.
I don't know why you decided to be a pirate.
That's what Batman
for that
sounds
read.
like. Good evening, everyone. We're here to talk about Batman and Robin Year One,
Welcome
starring
to the
Mark
Nightly News.
Waid. Yes. We're going to intro this eventually. Thanks, everyone. This has been the comic book. That's the ending. Batman and Robin Year One, written by Mark Waid and Chris Samney, drawn by Chris Samney, inked by Chris Samney. It's the same thing. Starting over, Michael.
We don't usually have this many bloopers.
No, I'm moving the lights.
Oh, Marshall.
This is Batman and Robin Year One, written by Mark Waid and Chris Samney, penciled by Chris Samney, inked by Chris Samney, colored by Matt Lopes, and lettered by Clayton Cowles. It's a pretty cool book. It's one of my favorites in the last year. I really, really, really like this one.
Wow, a lot, evidently.
Yes!
First book that we talked about on the show that has come out after our show premiered last year.
Oh, yeah, that's
which is exciting and fun.
What a fun stat.
I feel like we're established now.
Yeah.
Because
we're doing a new book?
Because books are still coming out as we're doing this show, and then we get to talk about things that are current.
Yeah, you thought that they would stop making comic books after we started our show?
You never know. Maybe they're just like, oh, these two cannot do comic book commentary for anything, and that'll tank the industry. So they just said, bye. Done.
That, or they thought we better stop and let them catch up.
You better stop.
Because there's so many comic books.
It's a good meme.
So they need all of us. They need us, you and me, all of us.
Yeah.
To talk about every comic book.
Every single one.
Yeah, because people haven't heard of them. People haven't read them.
We got work to do.
Yeah. And when we do that, Michael, then they will start making new comic books again.
Thank goodness. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about Batman and Robin, which just came out last year. Can I summarize this bad boy?
Yeah, read it.
The early years of Batman and Robin were anything but smooth sailing. Join fan favorite creative duo Mark Waid and Chris Samney as they explore the first year of Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson's partnership, both as newly minted father and son in the eyes of the public, and as crime-fighting Batman and Robin to the criminal underworld of Gotham City. Dick may be capable and enthusiastic, but does he have what it takes to stand up against the deadliest costume villains the city has to offer? And Batman may be prepared for anything, but is he prepared to be responsible for the life and safety of a teenage sidekick?
Okay, everybody, let's talk about it. So Chris Samney is a really good artist. He's done tons of work. He's been doing really cool stuff for a very long time. We'll talk more specifics about his art later on, but there's something that he used to do. I think he's done doing this now, but he used to do this every single year. There's an October challenge called Inktober that was started by Jake Parker, where there would be a different prompt every single day, a one-word prompt.
Yeah.
And you would have to, as an artist, a visual, illustrative artist, take that prompt and draw something based on that thing. So I don't know if he started doing this before or after the little minor controversy around Inktober, but essentially at one point, Jake Parker and Inktober as an organization started sending out copyright strikes and trademark stuff against people who were selling their Inktober zines and stuff like that because it had the name Inktober in it.
Oh, which is kind of just bad form. If you're going to invent a thing that is
it's all about collaboration and creativity,
inherently creative, then don't sue for creativity.
Weird choice.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, I don't want to slander Jake Parker.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, I sort of remember the excuse being something to the degree of there were some overzealous lawyers who did this without his approval. I don't know if that's true. Do your own research.
Keep a leash on your attorneys, folks. Come
on. Freaking lawyers.
Not physically. That's borrowing on slavery or something else.
Weird stuff going on. But basically, when that all happened, a lot of people splintered off from doing Inktober and started creating their own challenges.
Yep.
So Chris Samney started doing Battober. Mm-hmm. And it is my favorite time of the year. I'm very sad that it's over, I think. But it's awesome. So he would have people comment, one-word prompts, and then he would choose a prompt for every single day, put the list out, and people would then join in with that. And his stuff is just incredible. Like, it was the coolest Batman stuff that anybody had ever seen. It's all black and white, which is the typical Inktober thing. And like, he's a master of using negative space and heavy black and silhouette, and it's just the coolest stuff ever. Yeah. And it had the constant call. Here's a few of those, by the way.
Yes.
Check it out. Here's some of the ones that I did as well from those same prompts.
And for the rest, go to mparish_art, scroll your little self back to last October and see what Marshall's been up to.
That series was very, very popular.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say Siri. Well, that time I did. That group of posts that he did every year is very, very, very popular, and there was always a huge call of just like all the comments are like, somebody give this guy a Batman book, somebody put this man on a Batman book, so on and so forth. So that plus Mark Waid being at DC, working at the time on World's Finest, which is a really fun Silver Age Batman and Superman style book, that combined to then the two of them joining up and doing this book, which is really fun. It has a very similar feel and tone to their Daredevil run. We think of Daredevil as like the Frank Miller, Bendis kind of very dark character.
Yeah.
Mark Waid and Chris Samney's run is a lot more lighthearted.
The cunning warrior attacks neither body nor mind.
Tell me how!
The heart, Osborn. First, we attack his heart.
And fun. That's when his identity had become public knowledge and everything like that. And I think he's living in California, like stuff, goofy, fun stuff. But that kind of tone fits really well here.
Yes.
Like, they really toe the line well between the kind of early serious nature of Batman and the kind of light that comes into Batman's world. This is always the traditional kind of like, Batman was getting too dark, and then Robin just opened things up for him. And it's like, and I think they do that really, really well here.
Mark Waid loves a team up or an ensemble book. We talked about Kingdom Come. Another card to add above your little noggin there.
Ooh, check it out.
Kingdom Come is a great example of Mark Waid, maybe at his best.
It's a hard thing to say because he's so prolific.
Yes.
Like, we were talking before this about just how crazy like his longevity in the industry is.
Yeah.
Like, thinking about that he was the writer of something like Kingdom Come all the way back.
Yes.
And then still doing stuff today.
Yeah.
Including the new history of the DC universe as well, which I've been enjoying to go through them watching Mark Waid figure out how to take all of DC's history and make it into one cohesive story somehow.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Because this is, them returning to a partnership that they had in the Daredevil book, where they kind of, not fully, but they kind of use the Marvel method.
Yeah.
Which, if you want to hear more about some of that, you can check out the Solo Marshall video.
It wasn't very good.
Hey, man.
I'm just kidding. It was nice.
It was awesome. But the Marvel method, short explanation, basically is that the plot is generally outlined, and then the artist comes in and draws the whole book, and then they script it.
Yeah.
That's not really what they did here. What they did here was more of it was a Marvel method style thing in the sense that it was very fluid, working together. They kind of co-plotted this thing. And then as they were going, like, Samney would do the art and everything, and they were like in it the entire time together. Probably similar to the way that we'll end up working on a lot of our stuff.
Yes, for sure. Better be.
Yeah. Which is, some partnerships work that way and some don't. Like, sometimes it's just there's a script and you send it off to your artist and then they figure it out. Like Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale kind of worked that way a lot of the time, and there was a lot of trust on this part of Jeff Loeb to say, like, Tim, you just do whatever you want to do, basically. There were so many quotes. You can check out our episodes about Daredevil Yellow and Hulk Gray and Captain America White and Spider-Man Blue. And in one of those, I can't remember which one, it might have been actually our episode about Dark Victory or our episode about The Long Halloween.
Good. I don't think these things stack. You know what I mean? It's like one at a time.
Then maybe they're still going up. I don't know.
I sure hope so. Maybe.
But there's a quote somewhere in there about, like, Jeff Loeb basically was like, if Tim wants to do it, then I'm on board.
Yeah.
Like whatever, if Tim has an idea, then like, great, I'm in.
Yeah.
So that's like a very artist-driven partnership essentially. But here it was very in lockstep, working together, which is kind of a cool thing. And you can really feel that, the way that the visuals and the writing really work together throughout the entire thing.
No, they work together extremely well. And I'd love to jump into a little bit more of how that goes. You want to talk about story?
Fine.
Cool story in this Batman book.
All right, let's move on.
That's it. Talk about the art. That's stupid.
Okay, Michael, go ahead. Talk about it a little bit more.
Nobody should listen to this show. Story opens. Batman has just adopted little Dick Grayson.
Yeah, literally like 3 weeks in.
Yes. Yeah. Very fresh, very new. It opens with Bruce and Alfred having a conversation about how Bruce is very ill-equipped to be a dad.
Yeah, he's like, I have no experience being a father. Yeah. And Alfred is quick to point out, like, well, you also have very little experience being a child.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah.
Like, he had this trauma and immediately had to grow up.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's such a... Throughout, here's the theme, too, is that it's such a fresh take on the Batman and Robin tropes. Mm-hmm. Like, all the tropes. There's not one right way to write a Batman and Robin story.
Yeah.
But there are like elements like that, like pointing out that Batman didn't really get his own childhood, so he's giving it to this new kid.
Yeah.
That it's not always spotlighted as much as it is in this first issue, which is just so I love it a lot. And so it follows that story for the bulk of this, of Bruce figuring out how to be a dad, Robin kind of working through his own trauma, but also sort of deflecting and learning to actually handle it. Yeah, absolutely. And it's a really cool, there's a lot of dichotomy between the two of them and a lot of back and forth. And it's kind of interesting because I think Batman in this is pretty notably like actually caring and supportive of Robin.
Yes.
He's making a real attempt. He's not distant. He's engaging, but he's doing it in a way that only Batman would ever do.
Yeah.
Encouraging Robin to be his true self in the mask or in the costume. And let his secret identity, that's the mask.
Yeah.
And encouraging Robin, take after me in this way, which might not be the healthiest, but that's how Batman knows to do it, knows to do the job.
Yeah.
And so that's really cool. But you also see then how they contrast, like throughout the story, there's a new mob boss in town that is kind of orchestrated. General Grimaldi
and his dad.
Sounds like somebody from Star Wars. This is a guy. Human.
Yeah. General Grimaldi. He's got 3 eyes.
A fine addition to his collection.
Eyeball collection.
His eyeball collection.
That's why his dad's got an eye patch. He took it. Yeah. Sometimes you have to take your dad's eyeballs if you really, really want to be a crime boss.
Here's the thing. Most people don't realize that.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for years because I'm an influencer.
This is something that you and me really know.
It's something we know famously.
Yeah.
There's a new mob boss in Gotham.
Yeah. Grimaldi.
Yes.
3 eyes.
Grimaldi. 3 eyes.
Yeah.
Just 2 eyes in his head. But so he's terrorized. He's trying to orchestrate this gang war, and
same.
You see this like war theme. I know you see this war theme all throughout. Both with him having a military background, but a dishonorable discharge.
Yeah.
He's orchestrating this conflict, and there's all kinds of language where Batman or those around him describe his crusade as a war in Gotham City.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Robin really never uses that language. He is just like, he's out there kind of to have fun.
Yeah.
You see it in training when he's training with Batman in the Batcave.
Kicking a fish into the gun.
Yes. Yeah, he grabs a fish out of what I assume is like old weapons from Batman's robe.
Yeah, it's Joker fish.
Yes. And he's finding these weird unorthodox ways to do things.
Yeah, which Bruce sees as like
the
impudence
wrong way.
And like being just like the flair is a problem. Like this is all about business. This way is the way you do it, and there's no deviation from that.
Yes,
like that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he's just having a fun time doing it his own way, and in some ways you can kind of call it coping, right?
Yeah.
For the death of his parents recently.
Yeah.
And through this, you see what I think is the biggest contrast between the two of them throughout is that Batman sees Gotham City as a war zone, And Robin sees Gotham City as a circus. And so he
Interesting.
carries it through his own, like, that's his style throughout his career as a young crime fighter.
Yeah.
And you see how that works really well. You see where it gets him into problems.
Yeah.
Which, of course, just highlights Batman and Robin's need for each other in this, and how neither of them should be doing this alone. And then, obviously, that's a reflection of them as individuals. You know, they're both, like, processing their grief and their kind of status as orphans together as well.
Clayface takes a big part in this. It is in this Matt Hagen, not Basil Carlo.
Even though they kind of just use the Basil Carlo personality and history in a lot of ways, which is weird.
Yeah, it's sort of unclear.
Yeah.
So this largely takes from Batman the Animated Series that combined both of these characters essentially into one guy.
Yep.
So Basil Carlo debuted in Detective Comics 40. So Batman debuted in Detective Comics 27.
Yeah.
This is 40. So it's pretty early, probably a little after the first year or so of the character's existence.
Yeah.
He was a failed actor and used disguises rather than being a mud man. He didn't have powers. He just had masks, essentially, and really good makeup.
Yeah.
And he later gained powers and is typically now the mainline Clayface. I can't remember exactly how he got these powers. Something about one of the other Clayfaces and some isotopes or whatever. I don't know.
Got struck by lightning and then covered in mud.
Yeah, he got struck by lightning and also one of the other Clayfaces or something. I don't know.
Clayface. Can we also say, maybe this is a hot take. I hope we don't get unsubscribes for this. I think Clayface is a terrible name for a villain.
Okay.
I think it's call him.
What would you call him?
Call him anything else.
That's a bad name.
Earthman.
Earthman?
Goop guy.
These are both worse names.
Are you kidding? Then Clayface? His whole body.
Yeah.
Just his face? What do you mean?
But the point is that he's an actor and he changes like his appearance and everything. Especially in the original version, Basil Carlo, that he specifically is doing like makeup and stuff like that. So he's got the ideas that he's a master of disguise. He's got a clay face. He can, like, they call Jim Carrey rubber face. That kind of, that kind of deal.
Call him rubber face. There you go.
That was taken.
I like that.
All the way back in 1940 something.
Yeah, no kidding. It's not my favorite.
Interesting. I think it's cool. It feels kind of weird and pulpy. It feels like an old noir thing.
Yeah, ironic, especially for Matt Hagen, who, when he's just himself, he wears an actual mask over his face. It's the one part of him that is not made of clay. Yeah. It's his face.
Well, the mask kind of looks like Carlo.
Yes.
It looks like the original comic book version of Basil Carlo.
Which makes it all that much more confusing.
Yeah, with the little mustache and stuff like that.
But it kind of becomes more believable because later on, as the story proceeds, they're making more clay faces.
Yeah, you get the Monster Men, not to be confused with, not the Monster Men, because that's a Hugo Strange thing. This is not.
Even though they call them the Monster Men, but different. It's a different thing. Frick. And it's not the Monster Mash. Don't even think about the Monster Mash.
They did not do the Monster Mash. It was not a smash, and there was no Midnight Bash. It's important that we know that.
Terrible, tragic.
But Matt Hagen, to get back to the Clayface stuff, Matt Hagen debuted in Detective Comics 298, so a lot later in the history, but it's funny. Batman is so old. Mm-hmm. How old is he? So Batman debuted in 1939 in Detective Comics 27.
Yeah.
When we hear issue 298, we think of like the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah.
This is 1961. Like that's how old this character is. Spider-Man didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That is insane work.
It's so funny. It's like you think about the oldest building in the United States.
Yeah.
Is like a few hundred years old.
Yeah.
And then you go to a random pub in London, and it is 700, 800 years. It's been like, and that's not even the oldest building on the street.
Yes.
Like that is the difference between Marvel Comics and DC Comics.
Totally. Yeah.
But Hagen debuted in DC 298 and originally was a treasure hunter who was cave diving and found a pool of protoplasm, which he promptly fell into, which then turned him into the iconic Mudman Clayface that we think of today.
What's crazy is the last time that I found a pool of protoplasmic whatever, nothing happened to me.
Did you accidentally slip on a rock and fall into it?
No, I intentionally jumped in.
Well, that's your mistake.
I just got a little stinky.
A little stinky, Michael?
From the protoplasm.
A little stinky, Michael?
Okay, a lot of stinky.
Okay.
But I had to. It had to be an accident, is what you're telling me?
Maybe. if you do it on purpose, I don't think it works. I think about every time they try to make a new Captain America. It goes badly. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So now Grimaldi is trying to create new clay faces to get himself a big old army, which is always fun to have a big clay army. Over the course of this, Dick is starting to get a bit more bold and brash. He's not really heeding Bruce's instructions. He's still seeing this, like he's doing an okay job, but he's still seeing it as a bit of a game and is starting to become a problem.
Yeah. CPS is involved throughout this and keeps checking in, and Robin doesn't understand the consequences of his being kind of
a goof,
standoffish. Yeah. Because to him, he's just he's taking Bruce's advice and just being Robin.
Yeah.
And living as him. But
yeah, I mean, he goes to school and doesn't even last an hour.
Yeah.
There's a great parallel, which I don't think you would notice unless you were reading a trade like this, where it's the end of one issue.
Yeah.
When he goes to school and, oh man, I'm trying to remember exactly what it says. Let's find it real quick because it's very good. But there's this great panel here with Dick at the top looking really like I'm ready to roll.
Yeah.
And then down there is him and Alfred. And the top panel says, if a man is determined enough, there is no prison on earth that can hold him.
Yep.
Which is great, coming off of what is actually the conversation around that. There's some really fun juxtaposition happening there, creating new meanings for that kind of stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
And then you go to the first page of the next issue, and it perfectly mirrors that. Bruce being really frustrated and
taking Robin out of school.
Yeah, he said, you lasted 1 hour. It was the teacher's fault. 1. It's great. It's very, very fun.
Oh, it is really, really fun.
Really cleverly done. I love Alfred's road clothes.
Yep.
His little derby cap and, flat cap and driving jacket and gloves.
It's one of those ways where this story fits into any time. You know what I mean? There's not there's not a crazy use of like modern tech. Alfred still dresses like he's from the 40s or 50s, and he's like the manservant.
It's very Batman the Animated Series in that way.
Yes, and I love that. Nothing else, I think, in all of comics has that same thing going on. The same kind of timeless quality isn't even accurate to what it is. I don't know how to even describe that quality.
Yeah, but it is kind of a timeless thing. It's like a retro, not retro future, but just like retro modernism.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Not time. My thing is, it's not even timeless just because it is always relevant, but it's timeless because you can't take this and guess at a year. You can't,
not necessarily.
I can't say this is probably in the mid 2000s. Because then they throw something at you from the 1960s.
Yeah.
And then vice versa.
But there's also no reason that it couldn't be happening now.
Yes, exactly.
Like they're not using iPhones and stuff like that. But other than that, it's not like there's really obvious things of like, we're all listening to our radios.
Yes, exactly.
People aren't listening to their radios today,
Yes.
So maybe that's an indication that this is a period piece. That is something that is not only kind of unique to DC, but very unique to Batman, I feel like.
Exactly, yeah.
Where like you get some of that in DC in general, a little bit in Superman, where Superman kind of lives in a bit of more of a sci-fi space, but Batman very much lives in this kind of pulpy world. And I think a lot of that does come from Batman, the animated series. Like, and there's a clear love that Mark Waid and Chris Samney have for that. Like the design of Clayface is just directly the design from Batman, the animated series.
Yeah. A file is stolen from Commissioner Gordon's desk.
Yeah.
And he won't tell Batman what it is. Commish says, "For my eyes only."
Yeah, and it's stolen by Two-Face.
He doesn't answer to Commish, he says in this book. But yeah, he won't tell Batman what it is. He just says, like, this has to be returned to me unopened.
Yeah.
And yeah, what it turns out is, Clayface took it.
Two-Face.
That's what I meant. Too many faces in this.
3.
That's 3 faces altogether. Two-Face took it.
Yeah.
And it's full of a list of possible who is Batman suspects.
Which then with the appearance of Robin is suddenly narrowed down quite a bit.
Yes.
So then you get to a point where Grimaldi is essentially going and just trying to take out all the people on this list. It becomes a hit list. Yeah. Or is it Grimaldi at that point, or has Hagen has taken over his position there?
I believe it's still Grimaldi at that point.
Okay.
Yeah. That's in charge, at least. Clayface is involved. But Grimaldi is still pulling the strings on the whole scheme.
Yeah, the clay strings. But yeah, there's a great moment when Dick is getting just particularly unruly, and Bruce, they just have a fight, essentially.
Yeah.
And Dick lets loose and just gets really frustrated and starts yelling at him about how, like, he is taking this seriously, and if he has to do whatever he has to take down every, scumbag like Boss Zuko and everybody like that, then he'll do that. And Bruce doesn't get frustrated at him. He thanks him for opening up. And I feel like this quote from Bruce is really kind of a really good just encapsulation of what the relationship between these two guys is in this book. And that is, he says, as different as we are, that's what we share. That exact anger, and what we do gives it purpose. I don't think you're here to help me. I think we're here to help each other. And that's really cool.
So cool.
Because I feel like a lot of adaptations of this era tend towards the Taskmaster General Batman.
Yep.
And, Robin is a child soldier, and that's one of the larger kind of critiques of this dynamic and of the character of Batman in general. Like Miller does a lot with that. Frank Miller does a lot with that in Dark Knight Returns,
which suits Miller's tone very
40th
well.
anniversary coming soon.
Oh yeah,
pretty cool.
Exciting. Big year
For Dark Knight Returns.
You get 30 years of Pokemon. You get 40 years of Mario.
Yeah,
40 years of Dark Knight Returns.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
It is so crazy. But in this, you do see a much more emotional Bruce. Like he much more genuinely cares about Dick and his upbringing and what will happen to him. And he sees himself in this kid. And like you get that great moment that we talked about in Dark Victory where, there's everybody looking down at the Graysons dead on the ground and Bruce is looking up. But most of the rest of that doesn't really have that same emotional core between Bruce and Dick, where there is a great moment between Alfred and Dick in that one, but not really. Like Bruce is still kind of like, I'm the soldier man and you're going to be my soldier and we're going to work together and everything. But this does a much better job of just showing that Bruce is still a guy. Like he's still just a person and that he still feels things. He's not, utterly, completely ripped to shreds and broken and psychopathic, where some adaptations really can lean too hard, I feel like, into the cold nature of him. It's kind of like the same thing with like Sherlock Holmes. You can get very cold Sherlocks and you can get ones that are just completely out of character and kind of overly emotional. But somewhere in the middle is what this guy actually is. Like he is very smart and he's very collected and cool and he's got a plan and everything, but he's still a person. And he's still got emotions and he still feels things and gets angry and sad and all that stuff.
Very well balanced Batman in this.
There's
also the way that Samney does the art, throughout. Are we
going to talk about art now?
No, just this one part because it's in this argument. We should talk about art though. I know you're always wanting to talk about art. I'm Marshall and that's all I care about. I just want to draw pictures and everything else sucks. There's a part during this argument, where they're back and forth. Bruce says something, and then in the next panel, before they let the creative team, let Robin respond, there's a moment when the background is washed out by a single color, by yellow.
The shock and frustration.
Yes, and there's like lines that look like, I don't know, vibration or just, I don't know. They put this look on Robin's face like it's just disbelief. And it just shows, oh, that's what got him. Like that's whatever. What did Bruce say in the panel before that?
So he's saying this isn't a show. If you aren't going to take this job seriously, maybe I made a mistake in taking you in.
And that, the mistake, like, wounds Robin. You can see it on his face. And so the use of that one panel to show that, I think is just genius pacing. And like nonverbal conveyance of this emotion.
Because you can feel that. Like I've had moments like that. I'm sure you have.
Same,
where somebody says something to you that is so specific and cutting. That it's just like, I don't even know how to respond to that. Like I didn't like something that someone I trusted and believed in and look up to or whatever has said this thing to me that is so incredibly hurtful and unbelievable that they would possibly, like, never thought they would say that.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to, and there's that, it's just a great little, like, they take a beat.
Mm-hmm.
And even the size of the panel
Yeah.
is really perfect for that moment. There's just the little indication there, little lines
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
that motion. You just get
Yeah.
that.
It even gives him a different angle. Like you've been seeing him from kind of similar angles throughout this argument, but all of a sudden it's like you're getting kind of a forbidden angle of
It's
of
basically
Rob.
from Bruce looking up.
Yes.
Where
Kind
up
of
till now it's been kind of from Dick looking down.
Yeah. I don't know, that angle just feels like him, like in himself,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like just a unique, like it just shows his state and nothing more.
Yeah.
Like that might not have even been a physical reaction, but you see it
Yeah.
as a physical and emotional thing. So I don't know. It's rare to have little moments like that stand out so large, but I think this does in a big way.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about some comic book art. Chris Samney is freaking awesome. He's one of my favorites, and I really, really love his stuff in this. He is a master of negative space, like I said earlier. He's got really bold, clean lines that make everything really easy to follow. Even if you are looking at the black and white, he doesn't use as intense of deep black and the negative space as lines as he does in these Battober pieces that he does in this. And that's just because, he knows that this is going to be in color. So he's leaving room open for Matt Lopes. And Matt Lopes' colors are fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really cool how, like, this book really feels like a spiritual successor to Batman Year One.
Totally it does.
Like,
yeah.
you can very much read, like, Batman Year One and then some of the Legends of the Dark Knight stuff, which is kind of a direct sequel to that era of Batman, and then go into this for the introduction of Robin, and it really fits.
Yeah.
Especially in the style of the lines, the style of the colors. There's places where Samney's lines, when he's further out on a character, become very, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very Mazzucchelli.
Yeah.
The way that I've heard some people, I can't remember who it was. There's a YouTube channel I watch. He's a guy who is a comic book artist, Thomas Patilli.
Oh, yeah. I know him.
He did a whole video about the Batman Year One Artist Edition, and he talked about, he called Mazzucchelli's lines dumb, in the sense that there's not like heavy line weight variation, there's not huge amounts of detail in here necessarily, but you get a lot of indication of things. Of that there is not the clearly drawn like folds of a coat here necessarily, but through the way that it's colored, through the way that it's blacked out, you can see those things. Yeah. So like constantly in this, I'm always amazed at Batman's gloves. I love the way that Samney draws Batman's cape and Batman's gloves. Yeah. Because with the gloves especially, he does a really good job of indicating like the folds of it and the movement of it and the feeling of whatever the fabric is. Like it feels so physical in the coolest way, even just in the black and white. And then when you put Matt Lopes' colors on there, it's even better. Yeah. So Samney is already kind of mimicking Mazzucchelli just in his own style. Like it's not an intentional thing here that he's like, this is a Year One title, I'm going to try to draw like David Mazzucchelli. Like, no, we're doing a Year One title. Who should we get to do that? Oh, Chris Samney would be the perfect guy for that. Yeah. Because his work feels so classic and because it does have a feeling of David Mazzucchelli at times. And I'm sure that he would probably say that he's an inspiration for just his style in general, not for this book specifically. And then you look at Matt Lopes' colors. Really cool. Yeah. There's a lot of places in this where you get very heavy contrast between like when it's Batman on screen and when it's Robin on screen on the page and Robin on the page. Yeah. And when it's them together, like Bruce's pages when he's Batman feel very Batman Year One in color and in tone. They're the same kind of muted blues and purples and oranges a little bit. And then when Robin comes on, it's much brighter. It's much more bombastic. It's a different choice. And it's clearly showing the kind of change that Robin brings into this world in a really cool way.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a few pages because they did release a noir edition of issue 1 of this.
Oh, sweet.
So it's not an artist edition, but it is the scanned inks, essentially, lettered and everything. It's just the book without colors.
Yeah.
So I'll show you this, Michael, and then you can, you people out there can see it on the thing. Lopes' colors never really do a lot of heavy rendering, and that's something that is mirrored by, I can't remember who I think it's Mazzucchelli's wife. Her name will be somewhere in the middle here.
Yeah.
Did the colors on year 1. Batman year 1 sans Robin. And it's very similar in the way that it's not doing any heavy rendering. There's not like intense shaping with the colors.
Yeah.
It is largely kind of flat colors, but there's like gradients going on, and there's very clever use of different values.
Yeah.
So you'll see like where you're supposed to be looking, there's brighter values, and where you're supposed to be looking, there are clear separations. And again, there's a big difference because you've got Mazzucchelli's heavy black being used as well. So like here, for instance, you get these very warm colors on Dick and Bruce, and then the background behind them is very cool colors, because it's the sky, and then coming from below, like the lower part of the buildings, and then going upwards, it goes from warm to cool.
Yes.
Like it's so extremely perfectly readable. Like the transition from the cool colors, the warm colors to the cool colors on the building happens just at the right time to perfectly silhouette these guys.
Yeah.
It's a masterclass.
It's almost
so
like
good.
in the black and white, you could guess that those lower bits were going to be colored in warmer colors, which makes it feel so natural. Well, and I think the flatter colors that you mentioned too, that gives Samney the freedom to do this thing that he does. Did you notice what he does with, he's kind of, I'm going to call it lazy. Lazy isn't quite the right word.
Yeah.
Lazy with the edges of panels, right?
Okay.
So like, since it's printed with a black matte instead of white, a lot of that black wash just blends into
the next page,
the matte,
or into the next panel.
Yeah. So the panel, in some ways, might not even end, or might as well not even end.
Right.
So I think that if the colors tried to get any more complex or any fancier or anything like that, it would detract from his ability to blend panels into one another in the way that he does. So I like that. I like that he just has that flexibility in there.
Yeah. I mean, even just, I didn't really clock the fact that the pages were black.
Yeah.
So like the panels, I mean, that's kind of a Batman the Animated Series thing too. Like that was revolutionary because they didn't animate it on white paper. It was drawn on black paper, and then that's how it has that really unique kind of feeling and look to it that's a bit more gritty and dark.
Yeah.
Because it physically is different in that way. But you get that in a lot of places in here. Like it flows together and feels a lot more cohesive for that reason.
Yeah.
Like look at this one. This one, he's got a color hold, which is him meeting, like seeing Dick and everything at the circus. This is the classic Samney negative space and heavy black on this page.
Yeah, it is.
Like look at the tent.
This is what I mean. Yeah, in this bottom panel. Yeah, and the top parts of the tent
You just get the indication, but you understand it.
Yes,
like that's
you see
the big
what you're
top.
looking at. 100%.
But I see what you mean about the way that like Bruce's hand is leaning out, and it just looks very much like all these different heavy black pieces just look like part of the thing.
Yes.
And then that bottom panel is breaking out a little bit, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, it looks like it's just breaking out of its own panel borders, which is so cool.
But there are a couple parts in this that very specifically seem to be mimicking year 1, especially in the color scheme.
Yeah.
It's like there's this bit where Bruce breaks into the building here.
Yeah.
Like this is just, even the gray blue at the top feels very year 1.
Oh yeah. And
There's
very
this
animated series too.
Yeah. There's this moment. I don't know if you caught this. You see that?
What part of this here?
See if you can guess.
Oh.
There's something in there that is very obviously a year 1 homage.
No, I don't know.
That is Selena.
Oh, up
in
top
the building.
here? I didn't even think. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So the color scheme is exactly the
so
same as
funny.
when Bruce goes out in his like drifter outfit to do his first kind of outing as a vigilante, and he gets beat up a little bit.
Yeah.
And and Selena is looking out the window with what's her name, the little girl there.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah. So you get that little page there,
Yeah.
which kind of still places it in a similar timeline as well, which is really fun.
Stuff. Who said that Easter eggs are only for the movies? They show up in comics too.
Easter is for everyone.
Easter, yep.
Everyone can have Easter if they really want to.
The eggs specifically.
Yeah.
This was, if I had to pick a favorite panel throughout this entire thing,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been this one where Bruce is explaining the Batcave to Robin.
So
It is
cool.
such a good look.
It's a really, really unique use of paneling.
Yes. Yeah.
Did I say that right? What did I say
unique
there?
use of paneling?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. For some reason, my brain exploded. It reminds me of if when we get to If This Then That, I'm really going to talk about for sure Batman Dark Patterns, which is drawn by Hayden Sherman.
Oh,
and I think the colors are very similar to this. I can't remember who colors it. Put their name here. But it's so cool the way that Hayden Sherman like controls the paneling on the page, and like he feels like he makes the page of the comic book bend to his will.
Yeah.
And that page really reminded me of that.
Totally. Like I love again the way it blends into the panel like that.
Yeah.
But also the fact that this is our first time seeing the Batcave like this probably ever.
Yeah.
And
or
it
it's like a giant up and down cavern.
Yes. And you kind of see it looks like a face. Like this is the eye of a larger face here where his helicopter lives.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that's very cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was intended. I don't know if that is how it's supposed to be, but that's how I see it in this weird Rorschach test. So, and the fact that Wayne Manor is always clear up on a hill.
Yeah,
and,
which we don't really think about that much. Like we know it's outside
Yeah.
of the city, like it's kind of a country manor.
Yeah.
But, having it be like all the way up there like that obviously gives it room to have this giant cavernous system.
Yeah.
There's that fun moment in there too where he's talked about how he has like all the abandoned real estate that he purchased, which is very funny, having just read Iron Fist, which we'll be talking about, I think, last week, where they have a very similar moment in
very
that.
similar thing in
of
that.
like, you used all your money to buy property, real estate, and you're like, use some to buy real estate,
and that helps me do the rest of my job.
Yes.
That helps people.
It's very good.
Yes. Yeah. And go enjoy our Iron Fist video, please.
There it is.
That's nice. That's good.
This is Batman and Robin Year 1. It's really cool. I really love it. I think it's one of the best Batman books in a long time. I want to see more Chris Samney Batmans.
Yeah.
I loved it. I really, really enjoyed this book.
Yeah. I'm sure you can point out imperfections all over the place. However, it is just a really solid, it fixes a lot of those maybe tonal issues that Batman and Robin sometimes have when it comes to the child soldier thing and so on. It repairs a lot of those in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I like even above things like Dark Victory that have a different
or there is a
introduction
Robin Year 1.
Yeah.
And this kind of takes both of those things and kind of streamlines them into one story.
Yes, yeah, and really highlights a lot of what makes the Batman and Robin partnership work and why it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan. I would recommend to just about anybody.
What about Gamma?
I would recommend it to Gamma.
Okay, Dr. Doom?
I would not recommend it to Dr. Doom.
Husky Husker?
I would recommend it to Husky Husker.
Okay.
If they're good or neutral, read it. Dr. Doom, however, is on the evil side of things, and I don't feel like he would get a lot out of the father-son dynamic in this because it's very wholesome.
All right. He has a son and a goddaughter.
Yeah.
Guess him against Kristoff?
Is he a good dad though? Maybe he could learn from this. You know what? I take it back. Dr. Doom, read this book.
He's a good Uncle Doom.
Uncle Doom?
Yeah.
To Franklin and
Valeria?
Yeah. Cute. Anyway, that's been our show, Tales from the Long Box. Thank you for watching. We appreciate having you here. If you liked this, please do all the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe.
Send it to your mom.
Send it to your mom. Send it to Marshall's mom.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to be talking about the Brian Michael Bendis run on Daredevil.
Ooh.
Is that our third Daredevil video? We got to let some other guys catch up, I swear.
Is it?
I think it is, but it's ahead of the
We did Daredevil Yellow.
Daredevil season, or Daredevil Born Again season 2.
Yes.
So get excited for that, especially if you're looking forward to season 2 of that show as much as we are. Yes,
if you want to hear more about
Bendis'
what
Daredevil.
is inspiring that show, you can check out our first episode ever.
First one ever.
It's
right there.
very rough, but it is there, and it talks about a lot of the comics that have still yet to be directly adapted by this series, but seem to be still where it's going.
Yeah, it's not rough. It's earnest. It's conscientious.
It's a first shot. It's a first try.
Yeah, it's humble beginnings.
It's my basement.
Good. It's good. Go watch it. It's in Marshall's old basement.
It's great.
You can also watch our Daredevil Yellow. Did we clip that already?
I think I already put it there, but here it is again.
Hopefully it's still up there.
It's pretty good.
Yes.
If we do want to do a quick if this then that, I would say check out
please.
Batman Year One, best comic book of all time. Check out Batman Dark Patterns, really, really good. Legends of the Dark Knight, really good stuff that is directly like a sequel essentially to Batman Year One. A lot of really great stories came from there, like Batman Venom, which led to eventually the creation of Bane.
Venom's a Spider-Man guy.
How did you know? How did you know that?
Got him.
Gosh, dang it.
Read a comic book nerd.
Read a comic book nerd. Hey, are you a comic book nerd? Let me read you.
Oh,
It's pretty good.
goodness. Tell us in the comments also why you disagree with Marshall on his assertion that Batman Year One is the best comic book ever.
Yeah, if you think there's something else, then tell me about it. Maybe I'll read it and I'll decide.
Yeah.
That could be a running bit.
Marshall will tell you why you're wrong.
Somebody tell me a comic book that they think is better than Batman Year One. I will read it, and then I will tell you on the next episode whether or not it is good or not.
Yes. Yeah, please. I will also read it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's been our comic book show. Follow us on Longbox Studios on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah. Here's Michael's book. It's Marauders. You can read poems in it. Here's some of my art. It's Batman.
You can look at those. They're nice.
Come and see me at the comic book convention. I think that this will be out after that.
Come see me in the past.
Woo! Batman!
That's really good. Anyway,
we have I forgot that we have a specific way that we end.
That's how you were gonna end, right?
I thought
there?
it could be funny.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and dial back and go back to.
Okay.
Anyway, that's been our comic show. I've flubbed it. Anyway, that's been our comic book show. Thank you for listening. Keep reading comics. Love you.
Good luck.